I think that I had hope. I'm just talking about my truth and my situation, and I feel like there's still so many details that if I was to tell you, to me it would be me acting ungodly, because it would literally be bashing him. I thought we maybe need to go back in front of the pastor. I thought we had time. And I remember calling him on FaceTime, and I kind of broke down a little bit crying, and I'm just like, I don't want a divorce. And he basically was like, well, yeah, we'll talk about it later. And he never came home. And was I perfect in this marriage? Absolutely not. Did I want my marriage to work? Yes. Was there times that I could have left him? Absolutely. And I've tried, and he's begged me to stay. So he came here. He had to be escorted here by some officers. Girls, like, they looked really good, all three of them. As he was leaving, his last words to me was, did he? You? Thanks, because you made me this way. When someone wants to leave your life, you have to let them go. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. First of all, I want to say this video is probably going to be filmed in different sections of my house, because I'm filming it in between being a mom and taking care of my kids. So but it's just, I just have this like certain urge to get it done. And basically I want to talk a little bit more about my marriage, and how we are going through a divorce. So let's just jump right into it. So I didn't think that I would find closure until we were actually divorced, which is scheduled to be in March, mid-March. But yesterday Randy came and got the rest of his things. He did have to be escorted by an officer, well, a couple of officers, and just for both of our protection, because things had gotten very toxic. I really didn't want to talk about this because I feel like maybe I wasn't ready, and I just wasn't sure I ever would be. But it's been on my heart to, and at first I'm like, is that God telling me to talk about it? And I kept saying no, because like, that's my business, that's talking about my kid's father, that's, you know, really putting my business out there. And I know I'm a YouTuber, but there is some things that I want to keep private. And I prayed on it, and then the request got even louder, like it became even more heavy on my heart. And I'm like, okay, so this just not gonna go away until I address it. So I thought I would wait till March, but like I said, I feel a sense of closure already. So, and obviously March will probably be the ultimate closure. So I'm gonna talk as much as I'm comfortable with, and like, guys, this is not easy for me. So I will start by saying this. I think that I had hope throughout these last couple of months once I announced the divorce. Taking it back, when I first said we're going to get a divorce, I still wasn't sure that we really were. I thought that he would come to his senses. I thought that we would be able to sit down and talk. I thought we maybe need to go back in front of the pastor. I thought we had time to discuss it. I don't know, guess I was wrong. But backing it up a little, even a little further back, prior before we had my son, we planned him. We knew we wanted 2 children. I'm already out of work, so we're like, let's just do it back to back, where I don't have to take additional years off when she starts school. They could both start school together, and then I can return to work. Fast forward, we got pregnant with my son, and I noticed things start to feel a little different and be a little rocky. But I also know that he was working a lot and he was tired, but there was just like no intimacy. Like, where was I? See, I got interrupted. So yeah, there was no intimacy. There was like no rubbing my belly. Like, he didn't go to majority of my doctor's appointments, so it felt different. But I just figured he would tell me he's working and he was, you know, tired. And I said, okay, like, you know, I'm understanding, but it was difficult for me, and I felt the change. Fast forward, we had the baby, and I thought, you know, things would get better, but they didn't. And so we started throwing divorce in the air, and eventually I made that video. And then yeah, he would tell me things like, yeah, let's just divorce, and then in a year we might could work it out. Yeah, let's just definitely divorce. And I'm just like, well, why not work it out now? Like, if we get a divorce, dude, like, that's it. If we go as far as getting a divorce, that's it, you know. And there's benefits to us staying married, and there's a big benefit for you being married, and I'm not going to go into that, but also with our children. So I'm like, why would we divorce? I just could tell that that's where he wanted to do, and I'm just like, okay, fine. But I decided to try again one more time and really just open up to him, and let him know I really don't want a divorce. And I remember calling him on FaceTime, and I kind of broke down a little bit crying, and I'm just like, I don't want a divorce. I really want us to fix things, and I hope that we can. And he basically was like, well, yeah, we'll talk about it later. And he never came home that night. That was the first night he ever stayed out. And so that let me know right there, like, okay, this is clearly what he wants. And when he did come home, he wasn't really apologetic, and the way that he came home and looking into his eyes, it was different, and I knew what I needed to know. I'll just put it like that. I knew, yeah, that this was probably over. Fast forward, a lot of the things that he was doing started to come back to me through people and pictures, and it just seemed like things was just getting revealed to me. I'm not going to go into details, but even one of his really good friends told me enough, told me a lot of stuff. More than enough that allowed me to basically allow my heart to break, but also to pick myself up, and knew that I deserve better. So moving forward, we had went to court and did things that we needed to do. And you know, he eventually just stopped coming home maybe once in a while, because he still had his stuff here. But court orders was for him to leave and go. But there was a certain day he had to be out by, and he was just like, I'm just there until that day. And I'm just like, no, we're gonna speed things up. So I basically got him out a little sooner, because it had become so toxic. And whenever he was coming home, it was just the disrespect. I just knew that I just did not deserve that. And yeah, so that's where we are. So he basically came and he moved out. So yes, so he came here. He had to be escorted here by some officers, 3 of, might I add, very, very, very attractive officers. Court orders. He got the rest of his things, and these officers was girls, like, they looked really good, all 3 of them. And listen, I'm on the loose, okay? I am separated, single, whatever you want to call it. So just kidding. But I am human, so I did yeah. Anyway, where was I keep getting interrupted by my daughter, but like I said, I had to make this video. So while he was there, you know, getting his stuff, it was cool, because 1 of the officers sat with me and 2 was with him getting his stuff. And the one that I was talking to, he basically got to he gave me more information about the police test and how it has changed, and we literally talked like the whole time. So that was really nice. I got to get some information from him, and he told me a little bit about himself. It was just really nice. But I'm getting off subject. So he got his things, and as he was leaving, his last words to me was, well, let me say why he said this. So there was stuff that he wanted to leave behind, but I put in garbage bags on the porch, and I said, listen, you're in a truck, can you take your garbage with with you, because I'm the one that got to set out the garbage now, and I already have a lot of garbage to drag out to the front. And he looked at me and was like, so you're a single mom now, deal with it. Did he? Well, thanks, because you made me this way. But anyway, so I'm a single mom now, deal with it. Like, this was my plan. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I know no one planned to be a single mom. Things just happen. But like, to throw it in my face, thanks. And moving forward, I wish that I can say, well, at least he's a good dad still. He's in his kid's life. But that's not the case right now. Hopefully he finds himself and he does his soul searching eventually, and he will be in my kid's life. If not, like, it's all in God's hand. Like, I let go and let God. God is fighting for me. I pray for him. I pray for him because I pray for everyone. And yeah, so that's just where things are. So like I said, I don't know, I just feel so relieved that I'm finally making a video about it, because it has been on my heart. Like, it's just like, tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. And I'm still not even, I feel like there's still so many details that if I was to tell you, to me, it would be me acting ungodly, because it would literally be bashing him because it had gotten that bad. And that's not my intentions. I don't have to bash him. I'm doing good. I'm taking care of my children, and then I have a lot of things going for myself. Yes, go ahead. And I have a lot of things going for myself, so I'm not going to stoop that low. But overall, I still wish him the best. The same for myself. So trying to think if there's anything that I missed out on. I don't plan to talk about this. Like, it's a new year. We're going into 2020, and the most I might mention is when our divorce is official, which would be mid-March. But I'm just ready to move forward, and I'm just grateful that you guys are rocking with me, and I hope that you continue rocking with me. And I hope this video, just even if it touch someone, to let them know that they're not alone, because I feel like a lot of these married turned single mom stories, and the guy leave the woman and leave the kids too, I feel like we all have a lot in common with that. And it sucks, but it's all pretty much the same thing. Like, it's so relatable when you're going through it, to find other women that has went through it. Obviously the details are different, but this is what happens when a man decides that the family life is not for him, or he checked out of his marriage. And I'm sure it goes for women too, on the other flips. I'm just talking about my truth and my situation. And was I perfect in this marriage? Absolutely not. Did I want my marriage to work? Yes. Was there times that I could have left him? Absolutely. And I've tried, and he's begged me to stay. And I did. And when it came to me trying to ask him to stay and let's work on it, he wasn't willing. And that's fine. When someone wants to leave your life, you have to let them go. And I'm just so grateful that I finally have peace in my home. And eventually me and the kids will be moving, and there's so much going on. So just continue to follow my journey. It is scary, but God is beside me, in front of me, through me, behind me. So I'm not worried. And I hope this video is received. I hope that it gave a little bit of insight. I'm talking about as much as I'm comfortable talking about, guys. But it was just on my heart. Like, it just kept getting louder and louder to share. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope it reaches someone and touches someone. You're not alone. And leave comments if you want to talk. And I'll see you in my next video.